Hey girlies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and my faces are familiar to you, welcome. My name is Kayla Bea, and in today's video we'll be discussing all about industrial piercings, what you should know before getting it, all of my do's and don'ts, and my favorite tips and tricks on taking care of them. But before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and to subscribe down below to my channel for more content. So without further ado, let's hop right into this video. So the first thing I want to answer is, why did I get the piercing? Me personally, I got the piercing because it was always a piercing I've wanted since high school. I had a couple friends who got the piercing and it didn't really work out well for them. Honestly, I think that was just because we were in high school. I don't think that when you're super young you really take things as serious as you should, but I don't know, maybe that was just me and my friend group. Y'all could be different. So if you're young and you're watching this and your parent gives you the okay and you still want to get it, especially after watching this video, I say go for it, but just make sure you take care of it. Back to what I was saying, my friends had it. It was all over my Pinterest feed, it was all over my Instagram, and I was really into piercings and tattoos back then. So I really wanted this piercing, but my mom looked at me and she was like, girl, no. To this day I thank God that she did not let me get that, but that's really why I got it. Honestly, I saw it, I liked it, and I wanted it. It's really that simple. About me, I love a good ear stack, so I always had a certain vision for my ears, and the bar was just always a part of that vision. So now let's get into the things that you should look for before getting the piercing itself. The first thing that you should look for is a good shop with a great reputation, as well as an amazing piercer with an even better reputation. At the end of the day, your piercing really needs to be done in a clean, sterile environment, fresh out the pack needle, and by somebody that knows exactly what they're doing. If you want to play around with a piercing, to me an industrial piercing is not the one to play with. You need to make sure that the person that you're going to knows exactly what they're doing. I don't think this is the type of piercing that you should be getting in somebody's basement or that you should be doing yourself at home. I've seen it go wrong so many times. People pass out from doing this, get infections from doing this. People get keloids, they have to get surgically removed from doing this. I just don't feel like this is the type of piercing that you should be playing with. This is not like low piercing where it's just simply right on the bottom of your ear. No, it's two piercings in one. It's at the very top of your ear, right into the cartilage. It's connected by one piece of jewelry, and if you mess it up, it will not be pretty. Everybody cannot get this piercing because everybody's ear anatomy is set up different, but I do have the industrial piercing, and mine is completely horizontal. If I can find pictures, I'm gonna go ahead and insert it in the video, but mine is done horizontally because of the way my ear anatomy is based. And if I didn't want it done horizontally, my piercer was not going to pierce my ear. He was offering me other options in case I wanted it to definitely go diagonally, because she did not feel comfortable piercing it diagonally. It would just reject because of the way my ear anatomy is set up. My cartilage tissue is too thin in the back to be supported by one piece of jewelry connected to another. Off of that, she gave me her advice and it was up to me to follow it. I really appreciated the fact that she was not going to bend her rules or break her boundaries for what she was willing to do with this piercing, because at the end of the day, whatever goes on with this piercing, whether I take care of it or not at home, however she pierces it is how she pierces it, and that's on them. So that really just ties into what I'm saying about making sure you have somebody that really knows what they're doing, has a great piercing reputation, and you're going to a great shop. It's all about research. And I know that sounds so annoying, because when you want a piercing and you got that itch to get that needle bug, you know, that piercing needle, that tattoo needle, you really don't want to be thinking about doing research. You really just want to go out, get it, and come back home and just, you know, get the serotonin from knowing that, hey, I just got a new piercing. But I'm telling you, this one you really need to do your research on, and I promise you, you will not regret it. The next thing I want to discuss is the pain level from getting the piercing and during my aftercare. For me, I do have a lot of piercings on my ear, so my pain tolerance might be a little bit different from your pain tolerance for a piercing. To me, my worst piercing was definitely my nose, but that can be for another video. When I was getting it, the pain level was a good 4 out of 10. It wasn't too bad. I definitely felt the impact of the first hole a little bit more, the one that's in the front of your ear, just a little bit more than I did on the one that's in the back, because it's a little thicker up there, and again, my cartilage in the back of my ear is pretty thin, so I didn't really feel that one as much. But the pinch in the front really kind of took me for like a surprise. But again, the pain wasn't too bad. It was just a good 4. It was just like a quick pinch. She put the jewelry in, another quick pinch, she put the jewelry in, she tied the balls on, and she cleaned it up, and we were done. The pain level for afterwards, by the time I got home and I had to clean it again, that was crazy. It was like a good 6 to 7 for a few days, maybe actually for a couple weeks. I'm lying, it was a good 6 to 7 for a couple weeks. Anytime I had to like really touch it and I had to get in there to clean because I had like clots of blood, just having the pressure of touching it with the Q-tip and the cleaning solution, I hated it. But it was all worth it in the end. At least for me, I really do love this piercing. So don't let that stop you. If you feel like you can handle the pain, go get that piercing. Well, make your decision after this video, but I vote you go get the piercing. Okay, so now let's talk about aftercare. So when it comes to actually cleaning the piercing, I always will tell you to go with whatever your piercer recommends, especially based off of your skin type, any problems you've had with previous piercings. If this is your first piercing, they will be able to give you the absolute best advice of what can work for you. But my piercer particularly, she definitely recommended me to use a plain saline solution, which is just like sea salt and water. But me, I don't like playing with measurements at home when it comes to cleaning supplies for my piercings. Most shops do sell some type of saline solution, and mine's did, so I definitely bought whatever one that they had there. That's pretty much what I clean my piercing with until I started getting piercing bumps, which I am prone to. This is not the piercer's fault. I am prone to piercing bumps. I have the perfect solution for you and your piercing bumps. So actually, let's get into that right now. So first things first to know is, do you actually have a piercing bump or do you have a keloid? Most people will automatically see a bump on their piercing and go, oh my god, I have a keloid. But the thing with keloids is that they have to be surgically removed. 9 times out of 10, most people that keloid with piercings, their skin is already prone to keloids. If you're not sure, I would say to always visit a doctor just to be sure. And if they tell you like, oh my god, this is a keloid, then you have a keloid and it'll probably have to be surgically removed. There's really no solutions for keloids other than that, and even still, to my understanding, they can possibly come back. But most likely what you're experiencing is something called a piercing bump. A piercing bump is literally kind of like a pimple, but it's not a pimple, but it's really just a bump that's forming because your piercing is irritated with you, and 9 times out of 10 your piercing is irritated from you having to clean it and move it around. One thing a piercer will always tell you is do not play with your jewelry because it will irritate you and start causing problems for you in the piercing. But when you think about it, you have to move the jewelry around somewhat to be able to get a good thorough cleaning. So more than likely you're probably going to get a bump, especially with this piercing. You have to like make sure you clean all parts of it. Most people on the internet will tell you to just go in with like some tea tree oil, get rid of piercing bumps. I tried straight up tea tree oil. That did not work for me. What worked for me was a saline solution that also had tea tree oil in it that I found on Amazon. If I can find the link, I will put it down below. I believe the company was Urban Relief. If you don't feel like buying the solution and you already have tea tree oil laying around the house, you can probably just add a little bit to your saline solution. Use that solution 2 to 3 times a day. Give it a few weeks and that piercing bump is going to be gone. It's gonna look like it never existed. Y'all, I had a piercing bump on almost every end of my industrial, and when I tell y'all I have no bumps at all on there now, I really like, it's crazy. That's really what works for me. Hopefully it works for y'all too. So let's get into the healing time. They will tell you when you get this piercing that your healing time is going to be at least a full 12 months, a full year for it to be completely healed. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're not lying. I felt like mine to completely heal took a good 1.5 years. When they say that it takes at least a full year for this piercing to heal, they are not lying, because again, you have to keep in mind this is 2 piercings in one, connected by one giant piece of jewelry. Be patient with this piercing, be careful with this piercing, and just be really gentle with it. The more careful you are, then the easier your healing process will go and the quicker it seems to go by. Like, trust me, time is all an illusion, and I don't know about y'all, but ever since the pandemic, I feel like time just ain't real no more. Just be patient with it, and I promise you time is going to literally fly by. Then you can change your jewelry and do everything you want pain-free and hassle-free. And for the fun part, can you get your jewelry changed? I would say wait at least 6 months. That's what I was told. I did not listen. I changed my jewelry after 4 months and I still had piercing bumps on it, so that caused them to get even bigger. I wish I would have listened. It just would have made my healing process a lot smoother. I didn't listen, but I'm telling y'all, wait at least 6 months like is recommended. Some people will say 8 months. So honestly, the longer you wait, the easier it will be. the less pain it will be, the less hassle it will be in the long run. Don't do what I do as I say. Once the 6 months is up, you'll feel like your healing process is going by even faster because now you get to have fun, you get to change it up. That don't mean change your jewelry every other day. You gotta give it time to just be left alone to completely heal. But I'm telling y'all, once you're able to change your jewelry, you're gonna have so much fun with this piercing. Like, y'all, I've had so many different shapes, I've had different colors. Honestly, I wouldn't change it again now because right now I have this pink and blue butterfly. Ignore my edges, they're not done, which is why I got on the scarf. But yeah, I honestly want to change mine right now because every time I change my bar, I feel like a brand new okay. But anyway, wait at least 6 months before you change it. Honestly, I will also wait maybe up to 8 months just to be on the safer side. So that's it for the information that I have for you guys on things I believe that you should know before getting this industrial piercing and my do's and don'ts. Just a few more things I think you should consider before getting this piercing. Which side do you sleep on? Because I feel like the side that you sleep the least amount on, you should get the piercing on that side, or just consider sleeping on your back or your stomach for most of the time. Do you wear glasses? If you wear glasses, you might want to switch to contacts, like if you're blind to the point like you really can't see without your glasses, or consider getting a thinner frame. Also would consider what time of year I'm getting this piercing. I got mine in the winter time and it was hell trying to put on a hat or some ear muffs. Like, it was just constantly getting irritated and bleeding. It hurt when I would put it on. I would consider if I'm a headphone user, you might want to switch to some earbuds, whether they're connected with a cord or wireless. But I'm telling you right now, them headphones is a no-go, at least until it's healed. And last but not least, are you really down to get this piercing and wait the proper amount of time for it to heal? Or do you want the piercing and you feel like you're just not ready for that type of commitment? If you're patient enough to wait for it, I really feel like it's worth it. So if you want to know if I think you should get the piercing, yes, I think you should, but I think you should get it with caution, and I think you should get it with the intent of really taking care of it and allowing it to heal properly. If you can do all that, then I say this is the perfect piercing for you. I think that this piercing is so fun, and overall one of my favorite piercings, other than like my tragus, which I need to get back. I can't believe I let that fall out in my sleep and let it close. That's all the information I have for you guys. Short, sweet, straight to the point. Hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to comment down below if you're gonna get this piercing, or if you have this piercing, what is your experience with this piercing. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content and to see my face a lot more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.